of forgiveness, which we're focusing on. And it's specifically from this book called The Way of Mastery, which is the name of our Wednesday night program here. And there are 3 books to The Way of Mastery. And the first book is The Way of the Heart. And that's what we're studying here every Wednesday night. And we're doing what really should be done with all spiritual books that are deep and transformational. We're going slowly. We're taking a little bit of time to read. I stop after a paragraph or 2. I share my thoughts. And I invite you, especially if you're in the Zoom room, to be taking note of your thoughts. Maybe write them down in your questions, or highlight in your book if you have it, what turns you on or what you want to talk about, because the second half of our hour takes place in what's called the Zoom room, where you yourself have the opportunity to share, to let your inner wisdom awaken and add to this very important conversation. So for those of you who are in the Zoom room, thank you so much for being here. I really love hanging out with you. For those of you who are watching on Facebook Live, thank you for being here. I love that you're here, whether you be here for the first time or you've been coming back every once in a while. Whatever it is, tonight is the perfect night for you to be here. If you don't have this book, The Way of Mastery, please don't worry about it. You can just absorb the reading. I'll do the reading. I'll do I'll do the talking in the first half hour. So your job is to sit back, relax, and enjoy, and allow the wisdom of this book to have its way with you, so that you too can begin becoming more fully a master of your life. So welcome to our, I'm going to turn this off here. Welcome to our Wednesday night midweek spiritual gathering. As always, I like to begin by just doing some centering practice, helping me and you let go of the busy day, let go of the busy week already. We're halfway through, and it's the time to restart, to reconnect, and to remember what's true about us, which is we're born with God and all is well. All right, my friends, so if you're comfortable, if you can, please join me in closing your eyes. If you can't, if you're out and about, walking, driving, listening, totally cool. Perhaps just consciously connect to your breath. And join me as we begin taking nice, slow, deep breaths through the nose. And exhale. Again, breathe in through the nose. And exhale. And a third time, breathing in through the nose. And exhale. And just allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm as you focus on the breath and let your mind be empty. See if you can find that no thought place. And if a thought comes in and you realize it, that's okay. Notice it and invite it to move on. Like a cloud passing by in the sky, don't attach to it. Just notice it and return your attention to your breathing. Release the thought, Return to the breath. Release the thought. Return to the breath. I take this moment to speak a blessing upon our gathering tonight, knowing that Spirit has brought us together. This is the perfect combination. And that as we come to here with our hearts open and our minds empty, willing to let our beloved brother Jesus guide us in the words of this book, but more importantly than who it's coming from, the wisdom in this book, that we be available to it and allow it to actually help us remember that we've always known this. We are the masters of our life. We are the masters of our consciousness. We are that which is big and beautiful and forever expanding. We are the life of God. We know this at the deepest level of being. And so our time together tonight activates that and brings us the peace that passes all human understanding, helps us to lay down the obsessions of the mind and the pains of the heart and the hungers of the body, of the flesh. We lay them down so that we may allow the Spirit to prove its presence and to take over our minds and all that we are. We are blessed, we are guided, and so it is. Amen. So thank you, everybody, for joining me for that. I want to take a moment because Spirit has something to say to begin. I can feel it, so I just want to listen and let it. We gather here tonight inside of a very powerful wave of awakening. The wave of awakening that caused the wave mastery is the wave that we are joining. And when we come together on Wednesday night to read the book, to even just be in the wave together, we are all being uplifted. And there are enormous, is that the right word? Very, very large vibrations of love and light beings. That's just the word that's inside me. There are large numbers of light beings that are supporting you in your commitment to awakening and mastery. So please, please, please don't ever think that you're doing the heavy lifting. Don't ever think that you need to make anything happen. You see, this is the greatest freedom that is available to you and to me, is to simply to remember that the life force and the intelligence that is within the divine is guiding your life. And it's not leaving you out of the equation. You matter to the life of God. You deeply matter. You deeply matter so much that the support and the guidance and the journey that you're on is all cared for. Could you, the question tonight is, could you allow forgiveness to cut the cords to everything that's blocking you from remembering this truth? And most importantly, are you willing tonight to lay down all of the efforting and the trying to make life happen? Are you willing to lay that down and to accept that right where you are tonight is the perfect ashram for you? There's everything in your life is here for your awakening. You already signed on to the awakening journey. You bought the ticket. You're on the train. You can't get off the train. You're not even trying to get off the train. But what you're not doing is trusting the train. And you're not trusting who shows up in your car. on the train, and you still might find yourself arguing with the people that are on your car or in your life. You're still trying to move them out and move this one in and fantasize that someone else should be there. You're still trying to rearrange the parts of your car, thinking that when they're different, then X, Y, and Z. So tonight we dive into a deeper trust, knowing that if there's something we need for our awakening, that spirit will bring it to us. And if there's something that's supposed to go away because it's in the way of our awakening, then spirit will move that. But otherwise, everything is perfect. Perfect place, perfect timing, perfect resources, all of it. Are you willing to join me in that? I believe you are. That's why we're here. All right. So let's dive into the book. We are moving along, my friends. We're in lesson 3, the power of forgiveness. And last week we stopped in the middle of page 65. So I'm going to give you a moment to find that. It's in this book, 65. And actually, I'll start one paragraph back. So the first full paragraph on this page, beginning with, if you would have these things. So let's begin right there. And remember, we're in the conversation about forgiveness. If you would have these things be different, it must begin with you. For the way to heal the world is not by seeking to change what is on the outside, but by first changing what is on the inside. When that change has occurred, you will become a conduit for an energy that knows how to use your gifts and how to place you in just the right situations. Just what I was talking about. And a great power will work effectively through you, the power alone that knows how to heal your world. I love when this happens. Like, I did not read that. I just sort of free flowed, let spirit speak. And that's really what we're talking about, trusting the power that has you, is guiding you, and heals your world. So moving on. There are many that would love to march for peace by angrily attacking those who make war. But if you would create peace in the world, you must be at peace within yourself. Projection, which we talked about last week and we're going to again this week. Projection is an act of trying to get rid of what you do not want to own within. It is the effect of the denial of truth. It is the effect of the denial of truth. Projection colors your brother or sister with the very energies that you would judge within yourself. How can you begin to break the pattern of projection? How can you allow the bridge of forgiveness to be built? It is actually quite simple, but it will require your commitment. Awakening requires vigilance and discipline. So I'm going to read out a little more. I've said to you many times that the world you see is nothing more than the effect of the thoughts you have held within your mind. Let's refresh. Everything you're seeing is from your mind. The entire world, everything, nothing is left out. It's not like, it's like, okay, 70% of what you're seeing is yours, but that other 30%, that's not yours. Even though you're seeing it, even though it's in your world, even though it's bothering you, that's not in you. That's not yours. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. I was joking on that one. 100% of your world is yours. 100%. Therefore, awakening requires the act of vigilance and discipline, the discipline to cultivate a way of living in which you observe your own thoughts, in which you listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth, in which you observe the feelings that are evoked within your body, the reactivity that seems to own you, and to see these things as innocent and simply self-caused. I want to start there for a minute because I love that. I love that. You see, when we begin to realize that we're in reaction, which is a great insight and a great awakening, like the moment you're like, whoa, I'm in reaction. Awesome. Good for you for realizing that. But then what we don't realize, which is the next step, which they just gave us, is see these things as innocent and simply self-caused. And that's the catch, because in me too, when I'm in reaction to something, I tend to judge myself, or I judge a reaction. I don't treat it as innocent. I can go, okay, I'm causing this, and that's good. Okay, this reaction is mine. This reaction is mine. But to see it as innocent, that's where the freedom begins. To really claim a sweetness for these parts of us that are reacting. They're just innocent. They're just reactions. And they don't, and the reason we do that is because then they won't own you. You see, if we don't see them as innocent, then they own us. And if the reactions that you have against things of this world, things that people say, what isn't going the way you should, if you react to those things and it triggers you and then you don't innocently observe it, then it's got you. And then you go down the rabbit hole. So it's super important. I hope that made sense to you. When next something is reflected to you by the world that causes you to become angry or causes you to be in judgment, stop right where you are and look, not with judgment of your judgment, but with innocence and honesty, looking at it with the wonder of a child and just being honest. Oh, I see that I'm judging someone. That is an interesting cloud passing through the sky of my awareness. I wonder if I might be able to make another choice. The power of wonder, to wonder, I'm not going to make, and see, this is, oh man, this is so good. Like so often we try to force ourselves, you shouldn't think that way. Make another choice. What's another option? See, that's not friendly. That's not friendly. How do they say it? I wonder if I might be able to make another choice. Do you feel the opening of that? That's kind. And this is a growth edge. The way to mastery is kindness, to be kind to ourselves, to be kind with our questions, and to be kind with our responses. So when we notice a judgment rise up within ourselves, when we notice we're triggered, the guidance is, I wonder, see it, observe it. I wonder if I can make another choice. That's good. Now the mind will tell you, but this person just broke into my house and stole my stereo. I love that they say stereo, by the way. Of course I have a right to be in judgment. I have a right to feel angry. But I say unto you, anger is never justified. It does not mean you will not experience it. But stop fooling yourself into believing that there is some validity to it. When someone has just broken into your home and taken your stereo equipment or some other idol that you love, what if you understood that you had the power in that moment to remember that all events are neutral? They merely provide you with the chance to choose love. So it's all that's happening. Everything is for you, providing you a chance to choose love. What do you choose today in response to someone cutting you off, to someone speaking badly about you, to someone taking something of yours? What is your choice? You see, her reactions, man, they're so powerful. They're just big waves, and they catch us. Someone stole something of mine, and we get upset. And what do we immediately do? We tell people. We post it on Facebook. We look for sympathy. We tell people, our coworkers, can you believe this happened? And we get their sympathy, or we get their stories of how disgusted they are with this world. And then suddenly we're on this whole big conversation about politics and the wars of the world, and this is why it's all going wrong. What? Like we missed our opportunity. We missed the very thing it happened for. Someone stole your stuff so that you could remember to love. Someone called you a name or gossiped behind your back so that you could remember to love. It didn't happen so that you could go, oh, there it happens again. It didn't happen so you could once again think that that person is inept or irresponsible or horrible. It didn't happen again so you could once again hate your mother. It happened again so that you could remember love. That kicks my butt. That totally kicks my butt. Like, oh, this is happening because I have a particular presence in life and a particular role in life that gets a lot of judgment and gossip. It gets a lot of talking behind my back. And mostly I just ignore it. Mostly I work well at not even, I know it's there, but I don't give it any mind because I don't know what it's saying. But every once in a while, I, like everybody else, get pulled under and can really get into the victim thing instead of going, oh, wow, I'm really in a high level game of being called to love. It's a way to look at it. It's what I believe. So, um, reading on at the bottom of page 67, what if you literally chose the insane way? I love that they call it the insane way, according to the world, of looking upon that one who has just done that act as a brother or sister who's crying out for help and healing. What if you chose to look upon them as one who does not know how to live in this world without being of the world, who does not know the way to self forgiveness, who does not know the truth of the light that lives within them, and who does not recognize their great power to create whatever they want in a way that is not hurtful to anyone? What if you chose to look upon them with compassion rather than reactivity? It begins in simple ways. To set the stage, I want you to remember that time has been given to you that you might use it constructively. That means when you awaken in the morning, realize that you're in school. You do not have to drive anywhere. You are already there. So from our waking moment, we realize, oh, today is the day where things are going to come my way. And if I treat it like school, if I treat it like challenges, positive challenges to keep building my muscle of remembering who and what I am, and to build my muscle of forgiveness. Everything that's coming at me today, that's its only purpose. That's pretty cool. That really tees us up from the beginning of the day. I want to get to this next page, so I'm going to read on. The universe is literally helping to assist you into having experiences that will bring things up for you so that you can choose to look at them differently, thereby discovering the great power within you, the freedom within you to choose what you want to perceive and to elicit only what you want to feel. So that even if nails are being driven through the hands, you finally are liberated in the power to choose love and therefore to overcome this world. You see, that's the game we're playing. The game we're playing is while we're being persecuted, we have to choose love. While things aren't going our way, we have to choose love. While we're looking at empty cupboards or no money in the bank, we have to choose love. And we're choosing love because that is the way that we awaken to the remembering that we are not of this world. What does it mean we're not of this world? It means that this world is not our source. It means that anything of this world will not satiate us. This world is an effect of our thoughts. And it is the effect of the collective humanity's thoughts. It's a much larger wave of thoughts that are creating the world. Are you of that, which is reaction and reaction and reaction? Or are you of the spirit, the light in back of it? Of course, we know that answer. All right, we're going to get to this next page. Having said this, understand that each of your days is a blessing and a gift if you use it from the full commitment to awakening. Your day is chock full of a million opportunities to discover a deeper truth. Therefore, never feel that the purpose of your life must be something other than what you are involved in. For remember what we spoke of earlier. You are literally creating everything you chose, and nothing is forced upon you. You are creating everything you chose, and nothing is forced upon you. I'm going to read the next paragraph. I'm going to stop. Now we're going to take that thought just a little deeper for a moment. It literally means that if you've decided you want to awaken, you've already called to yourself every experience that can truly best serve your awakening. The friends, family, and people you have relationships with are those who likewise can best gain from the experiences elicited through relationships with you. It means that right here and right now, you are already demonstrating the power that you are seeking, the power to truly choose to awaken and to command the whole of creation to serve you in that awakening. That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. This speaks of freedom. This speaks of the power of choice. But the deal is the power of choice is already activated and you've already chose awakening. So again, I began with that conversation. I read this book a few days ago. It must have been ruminating in my consciousness because I really didn't plan what I opened with in the beginning. And yet what I opened up with the beginning is exactly what we read. So it must have been just hanging out there waiting to come forward. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The point is, and your work for this week, again, over and over and over, I am walking in my perfect ashram, my place of awakening. Everything that's here has been chosen exactly and perfectly for my awakening. Every upset, every situation, everything is perfectly designed. It is a brilliant universe, y'all. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it's all for you. Every piece of it is for you. Let's take a deep breath on that. And so I'm going to move into a prayer for us while we're still hooked onto Facebook, my Facebook friends out there. And by the way, if you're watching and listening through Facebook, please, Ryan, if you could put the link for how to join our email list. We'd love to. All you got to do is give us your first name and your email, and that puts you on the Wave Mastery email list. I really don't inundate you at all. If anything, you'll get a reminder on Monday with a little affirmation. Sometimes when Spirit moves me, I shoot you a little message of upliftment, but it really is just about keeping you connected in this conversation. Also, if tonight moved you in any way and you'd like to contribute to this programming, please hit the donate button on the Facebook page and make your contribution. We'd really appreciate that. All right, so I close my eyes. Take a deep breath. And I acknowledge the spirit of perfect love, perfect wholeness, perfect harmony, the cause, the source, the substance in back of all creation, in back of the effect. And the effect dissolves away in my mind as all that I see and know is the cause of life, the presence of light and its perfection, its intelligence, its peace, and its power. And I am that, and we are that. And you are this magnificent life, this light, this power. We are this, we are that. And I know for all of us tonight that as we move into the rest of our week, that we do so open and willing to be renewed, restored, to remember that this life is magnificent and that we are not the effect. We are the cause, and the cause can be changed. And indeed, it shall be. We are blessed. We are guided. It is so good, and so it is. Amen. Amen. All right, Facebook friends, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope to see you next week. And please give us your name and email so that you too can join us in the Zoom room for the after party, for the after conversation, because we want to hear your voice. We want to hear from you. And we want to hear your thoughts about this conversation. So please make sure we get your name and your email. Peace and love. All right, Ryan, can you turn off that recording?